Hey guys, and welcome back. And we've got a really great episode for you today. I have dry aged a ribeye roast, 75 days. This thing is looking meaty. And it's got 3 bones to it today, but really this dry age turned out really well. Happy to report that the at-home dry age process worked for me, and I know that it can work for you as well. The plan is today is to cut this up into steaks, put it in the sous-vide, and then we're gonna finish it on the big green egg. First things first, there are these 3 little round bones that are in my way of cutting the steak. So I gotta take these out. We're gonna cut the steaks, cut off the ends. We're going to season them, put them in the vacuum bag, throw them in the water, let them hang out for about 2 hours at 132, 133 degrees, and then we'll go from there. So I'm gonna start cutting these out. 1, 2, 3. 3 bones out. Now, we're gonna cut it. To get our steaks, probably gonna be about 2 inches thick. But you can start to see that the coloring is coming through just fine, and it's gonna start really getting to that deep maroon that everybody wants to see all the time. So we're gonna cut the steak right along the bone line here. Okay, here we go, 75-day dry aged at home. Boom. Fantastic. Smelling good. Okay guys, so I've got these all trimmed up. So we ended up with 2 really good ones, and I got a little guy here. For control, I've got a big wet-aged ribeye that we're gonna also sous vide today, just so we can kind of compare the differences here. So I'm gonna season these up real quick. So I'm using today a California garlic sea salt that we're gonna do. I'm gonna put it on pretty liberal. There you have it. Let's put them in a vacuum seal. Let's get them in the water bath. Okay, so we're out here at the sous vide, and we're gonna drop in our steaks. We're gonna cook them for 2 hours at about 132 degrees. So I've got this little contraption here. I dig it, kind of holds the steaks into place. We're just gonna drop this in, and there you go. That's it, 132 degrees, 2 hours. Okay, so I took out one of the dry aged steaks from the sous vide. I'm gonna smoke it for about 15 minutes with hickory. I'm just curious to see if I can penetrate the meat with a little bit of smoke before I go ahead and sear it. So I'm gonna leave the rest of them in the sous vide cooking, but I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the big green egg, smoke it for about 15 minutes in hickory, and then I'm gonna sear all of them and see what we got. Here we go. Now you probably don't have to pat this one dry right now because I'm gonna go put it out on the smoker, and that'll dry the outside up a little bit. You wanna pat it dry only for the sear at the very end of it. So because I'm not searing it right now, I'm only gonna smoke it. I'm not gonna worry about if it's wet and juicy. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it on the BGE and smoke it. from the Big Green Egg. Here's what the smoked ribeye looks like. This is the dry aged one that I just smoked for 10 minutes in hickory. I think that's plenty to get some smoke to penetrate the meat. So what I've got now is the control, which is this big ribeye that is not dry aged that I got at the butcher today. And then I've got 2 other dry aged 75-day steaks that we're gonna put on the Big Green Egg and sear them hot and heavy. So I'm gonna take these out of the bag. We're gonna go back down to the Big Green Egg. We're gonna sear them, come up, taste them, and go from there. Okay, so now that we have these steaks out, before you sear them, you have to pat them dry. Otherwise, they're not going to get a good sear with all the moisture on it. So just pat them dry. Don't worry about all the seasoning that you put on there at the very beginning. It'll stay on. Just go ahead and pat them dry. Try to get off as much moisture as you can. The more that you get off, the crispier the sear it'll be, and the happier your stomach will be after you taste the steak. Some of you guys who are familiar or unfamiliar with sous vide, you know that they don't really look very good now, but once we sear them and put that nice crust on it, you guys are going to be wowed at the steak that turns out. So we'll be back when we'll see you down at the Big Green Egg. Okay, so we're back down here at the Big Green Egg. I got it fired up pretty hot. It's between 600 and 650. That is plenty hot. That's gonna really sear it. I'm gonna do a minute on each side, and we're gonna cook it for a total of 4 minutes. And again, remember that these things are already cooked. They've been sitting in the sous vide for 2 hours at 132 degrees. And so the internal temperature is a medium rare already. So we're really just putting that nice flavor on top of it, nice bark, a nice sear to finish it off, so it's more presentable for your guests when they eat it. So here we go. Okay guys, it's time. We gotta carve them up. Back up from the Big Green Egg. We seared them hot and heavy, about 600, 650, for about 3.5 minutes. I got a little antsy there at the end, so I went ahead and pulled them. So what I'm gonna do is I've got 1 dry-aged smoked ribeye, 75-day dry-aged steak that I'm gonna carve. I have 1 75-day dry-aged steak that is just kind of normal. Actually, I have 2 of those. And then I have 1 ribeye that I got here at the butcher that is bone-in. I have 2 people that I'm gonna call into the room today. It's my father-in-law and my wife, and they both love steak, and so I'm just gonna have them come in, taste it, and tell me which one they prefer, A, B, or C. And so I'm gonna go ahead and carve this first one here. This is our smoked ribeye that we did. That is also dry aged. Wow, this thing is so tender. I'm cutting through it with 0 problem. So there's our first one. So the second one that we're gonna cut is the normal dry aged. And this again is perfectly cooked. And then here's our butcher ribeye. Now this thing is really thick, looking fantastic. So there we go. Let's go ahead and bring in our contestants and figure out which one they like best. Before you guys start going into it, this is A, B, and C. So I want you to give me your honest opinion on which one you prefer. Special A, go ahead, show me what you got. Ladies first.
Really good. A lot of smoke to it.
Lots of flavor, very moist.
Okay, that's A. Go ahead, B.
That one has less smoke, but has more punch.
Boy, that's a nice flavor too. It's really,
Last, definitely not least,
That's a little more barbecued flavored, tougher than the other two.
tougher.
a little chewier.
Now these are probably occasion steaks, so you're not going to eat these every single day. But if you were out with your husband on an anniversary and you wanted to treat yourself to a expensive piece of steak, would you rather have A, B, or C?
Personally, I would go with B, just because I like the least amount of smoke in mine.
Least amount of smoke. Okay, that's okay.
And I would prefer A because I like the
You like the
flavor more, and the texture of the meat was better.
Was better on the first one?
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm gonna try it. See what you guys got. Woo! Number 2. Oh. You know what? I think that B is a little bit more juicier than A, and maybe because we smoked it and dried it out a little bit.
Yep.
Let me try this behemoth over here. Oh, wow. Nothing. Really no flavor. I almost want to spit it out. So, I think I prefer B. The only reason I prefer B is because it's a little bit more juicier. I think the winner is B tonight. So here's what we did. We dry aged it for 75 days. We sous vide it for 2 hours at 132 degrees. We took one off, we smoked it for about 10 minutes in hickory, and then we brought the other sous vides out, we seared them. Here we are, we taste tested. I think the winner is number B. So if you guys, if you like what we're doing, please hit the subscribe channel and the thumbs up, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.